that should work very well with the Gotchiverse vibe. I think you'll fit right in.
I just watched a 25 bag of kek get stolen right before my eyes.
And by stolen, you mean stolen from you, right? You were hoping to pick that up.
Yeah, it looked like I was about to pick it up.
Damn, I just had the same thing happen with some FUD. I was like running towards it, tried to zoom in, and two other guys got it. Well, one of them got it, but they got it for me.
You got by the zoomers. You got.
I mean, that's what's great about this right now because we're all equal in this, since we all have the same basic like build gotchi, regardless of how they're dressed. So it's going to come down to skill where once traits are involved, then we get a little bit more tricky,
I got into a brief side shuffle battle with somebody over some alpha. I miscalculated my left turn and he came away as a victor.
Gravy, don't you think it's a bad idea to be on the call if you're called out sick for this event?
Oh, yeah, I mean, like, that's right.
The bosses didn't seem to notice. It's all good. Webb, how much Alchemica have you collected so far?
I have been able to pick up like 50. But I've also been like answering questions in Discord and stuff and like replying to social other things. Haven't been like 100% focused, Maybe I could have gotten a little bit more.
Yeah, at this point I have, what do I have? 40, 21, 5, and 5. But I also have another 10 that I haven't withdrawn. So something like 80 different with 5 kek. So not bad. You said kek was selling for what? 60 cents each?
Let's see. One kek is like about 60 or 70 cents.
That's insane. I was thinking like sub penny. Like for it to be at 60, 70 cents is kind of crazy. But I knew we would have some kind of crazy price action today.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot. There's not a lot, man. It really isn't. I mean, when you consider how many people are like gotchi asset holders, and how many golden ultras there are, it's like it's gonna be a like a desirable token. Like it's gonna have use case. And I mean, this is like just the tip of the iceberg as far as like what it's going to be used for. I mean, there's going to be a whole bunch of other stuff as soon as more functionality comes online.
Diddly poo, I saw your screenshot. I had the same thing. I kind of got booted from the realm, but I tried reloading and then it brought me back to the same screenshot. Now it's loading, so hopefully I get back in. How many players are on now?
Yeah, I keep seeing more and more. I feel like the number's going up.
Yeah, I got booted. It's not letting me back in. Let me try with a different gotchi.
Looks like the patch for that is on the way, guys. If you get booted while you're playing and you get that error, the devs are pushing a fix that should be helping with that.
I'm back in.
All right. Did we just have a big drop? Like the big Alchemica drop?
It might have been a larger play drop. But it says Overjoyed saying the number of players decreased by 200. That doesn't seem that they shouldn't have any relation to each other.
Well, no, I think a couple people got booted while it's.
I wonder if it wasn't a big drop. It was just that there were 200 less people there to pick it up. So, because they're spawning every 30 seconds. You'd go to Reason, you'd see a few more, notice a few more while people are getting booted for the reboot there, for the update being pushed. That should solve a lot of the problems we were having in terms of being able to log in. I'm seeing, let me know if you're still having that issue, but I'm seeing less of those screenshots come across, which is great.
I'd like to clarify something that has been brought up a number of times. The Keck pattern for the ground Alchemica is not an intentional swastika. Just for everyone's reference, a few things. One, the swastika is not a bad symbol. It's been around for thousands of years. Unfortunately, a certain group used that for something that's associated with some horrible world events. Two, the ground Alchemica is broken, so it's frozen on that particular pattern. Three, that particular pattern is random. Four, the fix is in the queue for that. So if anybody sees that, don't freak out. It's not an intentional or a secret subliminal message or anything like that. It's literally just a cosmic connection of some haywires. So that'll get fixed. No association, no intentional display of that, not condoning anything negative. So bear with us. Thanks.
Yang Kong is fully in the Gotchiverse.
Yeah, he's got a Gotchi sound on.
That's what the
Gotcha mod.
Yeah, well, that's another
here.
cosmic event is my Discord on mobile, which is what I have to use right now. Makes me sound like a fly, and everyone else sounds like they're speaking really slow. So I probably sound normal there, but yeah.
Yeah, no, good point, Neon. We'll have to fine tune that over time here. But people see symbolism in everything. I like shout out to Mark Zeller in the house. I like his take. He said, where'd it go? Gosh, everyone's talking so fast. He said, please use that to FUDs as FUDs so I get cheap Alchemica. Everybody wants their Alchemica. Speaking of the lending, if you want an Avagachi and you're lending, there's a question from Hills. Is there a cap on whitelist addresses? I don't think there is. As long as the contract memory can handle it. That's like the soft cap. Well, looking good, guys. I don't see anyone having trouble getting in anymore, so that's fantastic. Oh, and as soon as I say it, Shaw showing up with a lot of red text. Take a look, sir.
Oh yeah, that's a doozy.
Just checking up some updates here. I see, could we please get an update on which the search by whitelist would be live? Yeah, that's coming, I think, really, really soon. There was some subgraph delays and then some front-end pushes to do after that. So can't give you an exact time, but it will be very soon. It's a priority for sure. So that when you go to Gotchi Lending, if you're not eligible for a whitelist, you won't see it and that particular option, and you'll only see gotchas that you actually have an option to have access to, which will be very nice. But yeah, there was some syncing on the subgraph that had to happen first. Let's see, what other questions? If you are lending your gotchi, you might want to consider doing shorter time frames, 1-2 hour listings to test it out, because you don't want to be in a situation where you lend it for 6 months and you can't change your mind later if somebody accepts your terms. So just use common sense with that and do shorter times unless you're absolutely confident you want to lend it for a long period of time. Gravy, how is the experience on your side? Is the gameplay lagging? Is it running pretty smooth?
It's going pretty well for me. I'm trying to hop around a whole bunch of different things at the same time, so I'm jumping in and out of gameplay. I'm seeing it seems to be working just fine for everybody that's on my screen. It's actually pretty funny to see everybody do like their different patterns. People are going north south, people are going east west. I actually tried a diagonal pattern to cut between all of them. It's kind of like a bunch of Roombas out there. It's hilarious. But yeah, it's been working just fine for me. The only thing is at first when I first withdrew, it did take a bit, and my second withdrawal, it also hasn't registered yet, but I'm sure that's just something that needs to be done on the back end. Like the first one went through, but my second one did not after you gave news from Malvis. So I'm just going to be waiting patiently because I know that everything is recorded. It's just not showing up on the front-facing side here in the crafting table.
Very good. Yeah, it's definitely it's either machine to machine or different locations on the planet where some people are having some lagging. It seems like the majority here it's running fine, but it's always good if we can get more info on you, like what your machine, what you're running on, what you might suspect would be the cause. That's all very helpful. You need to try to make basically pattern recognition here. Okay, Fallen says Windows 10, a really good PC but weak internet. Yeah, I guess that's a great point. Ultimately, you do want to have a good internet connection. All the hardware in the world won't solve that blocker, that bottleneck. Good question from ADV. If you guys are playing the game, you haven't seen this screen yet, it's reminding you that you need to do a contract approval to give the contract permission to spend it for you. That's a very normal thing, right? Like the first time you interact with any DApp, you do a approval and then you actually use the DApp. It's always a two-step. So each of these tokens is its own contract. You're going to have to approve the FUD contract, the FOMO, the alpha, and the KEK. And then you're free to spend them and use them in game. So yeah, make sure you do that. The gotchis get XP if you fill out the type form, which I think we have a new type form pinned. Let me double check. Yes, it was pinned today at the top of this channel, the Gotchiverse launch channel. So make sure you fill out the type form. Your gotchis can get 20 XP for participating in today's launch party.
Is this the same type form as we did at when you first released it, or is it different?
There is a second one, I'm pretty sure. So if in doubt, I guess you would want to fill them both out. But the most recent one, at the very least, just be on that most recent one. We'll be manually checking both. But yeah, we ran into the limit on the first one and put out what looks like a second type form. John Wick, he posted an image. Yes, you're on mobile, it appears, and so FYI, unfortunately, we're not supporting mobile here for the alpha launch. That's something that will come at a later date. So you will not be able to jump in from your phone. You're going to want to get on a desktop or laptop computer. Hey, Nestor's in. Congrats, Nestor. Enjoy your time in the Gotchiverse. Network Hustler says 104 Alchemica. What is this? That would be the most recent drop, it sounds like you're describing. So every 30 to 60 seconds, there are something like 100 some odd Alchemica spawning into the world randomly all across the world. So if I were playing right now, I would be trying to spread out and actually get as away from everybody else as possible so that you have a good area that you kind of have the best shot at picking up Alchemica at. The type form is pinned at the top. I see people asking about that. Simply click on the little pinned icon, open it up, you'll see a type form right there. Make sure you fill that out so your Gotchi gets the 20 XP. Mark's asking everyone to disconnect for an hour so you can pick up some Alchemica alone. A wonderful suggestion. I am afraid no one will follow, but it's worth a shot. Okay, Coder Dan is currently working on the whitelist filter, working with the team, make sure that gets put up nice so the lending UI will be further improved here very soon. T-Bird with a very big brain move here. You lent your Aavegotchi to yourself on a hot wallet, but the actual, you're claiming from your original cold wallet, your Ledger hardware wallet. Well played. Good security there.
That's a very big brain.
Yeah, that's the right way. I saw Coder Dan had a tweet thread on that yesterday. If you want to check out and follow Coder Dan on Twitter, he goes into detail about how you could do that for better security. It's just yet another creative use case for Gotchi lending. Ooh, white Portuguese. Showing off those on-chain Alchemica. 1 KEK, 17 alpha. Plenty of FOMO and FUD. Great Watch asking, where are the Alchemica pairs addresses? They are in the announcements channel. Go to this Discord's official announcements channel and get those copy and pasted so you're absolutely you're getting the real Alchemica and not some sort of scam token or something. Always go with the contract address on first interaction.
Just a reminder for anybody that might be having issues with the vortex and withdrawing. That is something that will get figured out and squared away. And as long as you have withdrawn from your bag and signed it in your MetaMask, you will eventually get that.
Yeah, you can rest easy on that one. No need to keep smashing the keyboard or anything. It'll make its way to you 100%. Yeah, for an example of why it takes time, a few minutes ago there were posted as 556 Alchemica withdrawal requests, processing them at 40 at a time every 20 seconds. So that's going to take about 5 minutes to complete if it's totally optimized and nothing else gets added on. That batch, that current queue of withdrawal requests will be taking 5 minutes to get processed. So it'll happen. and there's no need to fear. Once you're in, you're in.
Yeah, that's like super awesome to have those gasless protocol run like deposits like that.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't cut into play, you know. It wouldn't be very fun to sit by the black hole while you wait for the transaction to finish. Well, guys, I'm guilty. I bought enough to buy it to make an altar.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's
How
like
much is that? How much is that
it was
run you?
less than 400 ghosts right now, and I'm like, I don't know. I think I might have to give. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to farm one of these.
Man.
Farm one of these.
Here's the deal. You rip the Band-Aid off, and you can rest easy at night knowing you have a golden altar.
Yeah, it's secured. You know, it's secured. I'm gonna sleep like a baby. It's in the wall.
Oh, man, I just got some FOMO. In both ways.
Wow. Well, congratulations, Gravy and Webb. If anyone's like me who hasn't gotten a single Alchemica, don't fear. You're not alone.
Right when I got in the Gotchiverse, I don't know what the equivalent to like yards or feet away it was for me, but I'm going to say like 20 yards for me was a 5 of Keck, and that was the first thing I picked up for my journey in the Gotchiverse, and I loved the start of that.
Yeah, you're not helping, but thanks, man.
You deserved it, Gravy. You deserved it.
But I also did sit on a 25er of FOMO that I couldn't pick up. It was like just sitting there teasing me. So I sat on it for like 5-10 minutes, hoping that maybe something just glitched at the point, and then I moved on. So had to leave that one for. I was assuming other people just can't see that. I don't know. Maybe they could. I saw some people.
Because your pocket was full?
No.
That's why you couldn't
I
pick it
wish. I wish my pocket was full, but it wasn't
up?
allowing me to
You're
pick
just
up.
happy to see me.
Yeah, the price of Keck is going pretty crazy right now. Every time I look at it, it goes up.
I'm definitely going to do this the old-fashioned hard way with I'm going to do this by picking up as much as I need for a golden altar, just because the sweat equity, the swequity feels so much better. I'm not knocking on anyone that just bought one, Webb. I'm just saying I'm going old-fashioned.
Dude, I hope you earn it. I don't know if you're going to have time with all the work you have to do.
I know. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, my wife might have to step in at some point and let me tell me that I got to get off.
Yeah, maybe with rentals you can make it happen, you know?
Right.
Well, guys, stand by, but a heads up to everybody. We plan to keep this party going. Thank you for coming out for another 30, 40 minutes. We're basically at the bottom of the hour. 30 minutes, 35 minutes from now, we'll wrap up our official party. We'll keep playing. We'll keep doing customer service. We'll keep squashing bugs, all that good stuff. But what do you say if to conclude the party, there's actually a little bit of a spike in the amount of Alchemica being deployed there for the closing minutes. We'll end the party with some fireworks. How about that?
Right on.
So give me time to get away from all the rest of these gotchis who are trying to steal it from me.
Yeah.
What's everyone's strategy here? I mean, like I mentioned, some people are going north-south, some people are going east-west, some people are staying on the highways. I'm trying a diagonal approach at this. Has anybody got any strategies they're willing to share?
Yeah, I got one. I just saw my first Alchemica pickup right next to somebody else across the board who picked it up. So step number one for me is get away from everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be like a perpetual motion machine. Like, just
Oh,
constantly
dang.
moving around.
There's a battle for FOMO. Oh, he got it. All right.
Yeah, I got some promo. Was that you, Gravy? Are you near me?
I don't know. Are you in a spacesuit?
I'm walking around as no futuristic. I'm wearing a miner's
Oh
hat.
no,
But
that
there's
wasn't me. I was just battling an astronaut.
Ah,
Where are you at, No Future?
I don't know if I can disclose that information.
Oh, yeah, it's a secret location.
I
Oh,
am
you
where the
should tell everyone.
Alchemico spawns, where the Gotchis have their miner hats blow gently in the wind, waiting for Alchemico.
So I do want to mention one thing because there are some people that are disappointed with the amount of Alchemica out here. I do want to say, like, there is something to be said about working for this Alchemica. This is a play drop, the world's first play drop. This is the first time this has been done. We're not just giving out Alchemica just for existing. This is something to be proud of. I mean, these are bags that you're filling and bags of Alchemica that you can be proud of. And ultimately building that golden altar is going to be something worth much more than just having something dropped in your lap. I know it's much more easy and exciting if all of a sudden you have an ENS drop in your wallet for 15 grand, but that's just a whole different concept.
Yeah, that's not what we're about.
I just got my first FUD. I got one.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah,
It sounds so much better
speech.
because of your voice.
As you were giving that speech, I picked up 5 kek, so I'm happy.
Oh,
Harambe,
dude,
you
you just picked up a $5 bill on the floor.
Yeah, that's nice. Harambe, don't twist my words. I didn't say airdrop, play drop, buddy.
I was excited to be able to walk around and pick up cans, like 5-cent equivalent, or even pennies. Like that, if I can just do that all day, that's cool. But if I can pick up a $5 bill, I'm kind of, oh no, all these gotchis are coming for the Alchemica. I'm fine with that if it's like.
Oh shit! Oh, excuse
All right,
me.
I gotta focus. Sorry.
I just swore because I got so excited to see a FUD I picked up.
Yeah, what I think people also have to remember that like this has been laid out. This isn't a quick wham bam thank you ma'am thing. Like this play drop is 1 month, a minimal viable game. But this is this project has a 30-year plan, so it's like you have to think in longer than a 1 month term in terms of Alchemica drops. Since if we're talking 30 years, that's a lot of Alchemica being dropped. So we have to people should consider that.
Yeah, great point. A lot of time has been put into getting healthy, sustainable tokenomics for these tokens, because play to earn tokens have a really bad reputation with that, right? So we're on a mission to fix that 4 times over with 4 healthy tokens. And so it may feel like it's not a lot, but realistically, it's still, when you take your time and think about it, 24-hour period, every 24 hours for the next 30 days, you're looking at 500,000 FUD, 250,000 FOMO, and so on per day being distributed, because every 60 seconds it's spawning here. Seems like a little, but it's what do they say? Time in the market, not timing the market. And I think it holds true here for the play drop as well.
Yeah, and these are fixed supply tokens.
Yeah.
So as people use them, they're gonna have deflationary supplies.
Yeah, I totally agree with the time in part, because I'm walking around. There's been a couple of pieces of Alchemica I've picked up next to gotchis that are just standing there that aren't necessarily paying attention, maybe, or they took a bathroom break. And it's like, oh, that's opportunity cost right there. There's a big kek. Everybody's ready for it. No, who will get it? Oh, I missed it. Who was that? You bastard. Yeah, I think that was a 5er.
Yeah. Dr. Wagme can't wait to see all the decorated parcels and installations and guild events. We're gonna fill these puppies up. It's only a matter of time. Man, this is so stable for how many players we have on here. I'm sure everyone doesn't have the same hardware and internet connection that I do, but it's definitely a smooth experience over here.
Yeah, for me it's pretty smooth. I mean, I'm hardlined into Ethernet, and I'm streaming from a separate device, so there's like very little lag. And other than getting bumped when they deployed that patch to fix whatever it was that they were fixing, that was the only issue I had. So I've been able to switch, withdraw, no issue. I'm gonna probably have to withdraw soon. I'm carrying around 30 Alchemica in this little pocket of mine, so trying to get that up closer to 200. So I less transactions on Matic for me, ideally. But it's been working well. Ooh. I just picked up 2 pieces. I just snagged them from another Gotchi. Sorry, friend.
1 kek is almost $1. So if you bought a kek when the pool launched, what is that, 100x? How much was 1 kek to start? Does anyone know? The rates are listed somewhere.
That's insane.
I could probably find it on the chart.
It's on the Twitter, Avagachi Twitter. We posted the initial values of all the 4 Alchemica that we put on QuickSwap.
Okay, there was getting some information from the back. If you're waiting for your withdrawal, it might be a little bit, but it's going to happen. It's just going to take some time. There's over 1,000 user requests to process through currently. Quite the backlog. So maybe you could make it easy on your fellow gamers and Gotchi friends here by only doing your request if you fill up your bag, or you know, at least have a hefty load. Don't go to the vortex and use a transaction to withdraw like 5 FUD. Maybe that's, I mean, if you have to, you have to, but that's a lot of user requests that have to get processed right now.
You know, I think that's
What about
actually
one
happening
FUD?
right now, which is kind of slowing things down.
Would 1 FUD be okay? I'm kidding.
You denounced that immediately.
Get out of here. Get your FUD out of here, Neon.
Yeah, I got 1 FUD, 2 FOMO.
So Keck went 90x in a couple hours.
Pretty sweet. But we kind of,
That's insane.
How are the other Alchemica performing?
Not as good as Keck, but still produce many X's.
ooh, somebody just picked up a 25er. That looks nice.
Trying to get away from everybody. Like I see, this is like timing the market almost. Like you're moving against the curve. Everybody's running to the left. I got to go to the right. We got to just get away, constantly moving throughout the Gotchiverse. But it seems to work. It'll be interesting to see this when everybody has traits kind of in the gameplay, just like movement speed and stuff like that. Like how strategy shifts. It'll be very cool. Where is the Alchemica?
It is kind of fun to be like, trying to get around people and just popping on the highway real quick, passing them up and cutting them off.
You're a zoomer.
Oh shoot, that went fast. Zoom,
So
zoom.
Jesse, will the emissions rate of Alchemica change when the size of the available game map changes? Like if we go full Citadel, oop, got some fun. Once we go full Citadel, is it going to still be the same rate of, or the amount per alchemical drip? Like right now it's every 30 to 60 seconds, roughly 100 to 140 Alchemica. Will that number stay even though the size of the map grows?
Yeah, it'll change. There's a very specific budget that's been allocated for the first 30 days. Like I said, the 500,000 FUD a day, it's all happening in this district. And to give you some perspective, it sounds like a lot, but if that were to run, let's see, how would it work? We ran the numbers, and if this budget we're having for the play drop were to continue, it would go all the way 30 years. You'd only use half of the total token supply of Alchemica. So we're running very conservatively on the inflation rate here, and so there's actually room to, consider cranking it up a bit if the player experience isn't that good, or to specifically your question, the Citadel is a much larger area, and that's why you'll see different budgets for that game phase. So like think of every phase having its own budget, and I think that'll be more accurate.
Awesome. That makes perfect sense.
Yep. In fact, like there's already discussion on the team here as we're watching. Like, what do you guys think about, right now there's 3 sizes of the Alchemica pickups, right? You got the small, medium, large. And those larges are 25. It's exciting for everybody to chase them, but it's also 25 times more. So would it be better to have less of the big ones? And then in effect, for every 125 you delete, you could spawn 25 little ones or a couple of the medium-sized ones. It'd be more to run around and pick up, but it's the same. Ultimately, it's the same budget. There's a ton of things we could do here. What do you think? Like, what are you seeing on the floor?
As a guy that just picked up a 5, a medium, I like that. I would tell you maybe instead of 25, lower the number just a little bit. Maybe it's only 15 or 20, so that you can get more in the singles and the small and medium size. Because the big size, it's like a windfall if you get one, especially like if you get a Keck one. But I think it'd be more fun for more players if everybody's running around getting something. So if you could sprinkle those around, especially if right now, one of those, like even a single one is like $1 almost or whatever. That's fun,
If we probably want uniform, the size to mean the same thing across all 4 Alchemica, so you wouldn't want to just change Keck. But I agree, you could have it like a small is always 1 unit, a medium's 5, but then instead of jumping to 25, we could just double it to 10, like 1, 5, 10 would be a lot. It would lead to more volume and more pickups across the floor, like instantly.
Well, another option is like looking at it the other way. Like you could take the smallest parcel and just turn it, make it a 0.1, like a smaller size, whatever, half. Like you can change the number down and make it so that it's like a more consistent dopamine like type opportunity for the player, but not changing the metrics.
What's your 1 then? You got to have a 1 unit.
Yeah, so like a 0.1.
Yeah, I get the little one would be a 0.1, but then what? So the largest of the 3 sizes would just be 1.
I mean that could be an option to do something like that.
It would be like the invert of what we have now. Yeah. Yes, at the end of the day, it's the same budget. It's just how it's presented and how many picks for.
Keck, $1.38.
Yeah, I mean, if you did half, 1, 5, 10, I think that could work. 1 is nice though, especially because you have the other tokens as well. But because if we're talking Keck at $1.38, if you picked up 1/10 of a Keck, I'd be happy with that. Like, and if that was spread out, that then a lot of people will be happy with that. Considering players are all over the world and different standards in terms of like what would be considered a good return on investment for them as borrowers and people doing the play to earn thing.
Yep, I think what we're describing here is actually changing the value of the units, which is a little bit more in depth. But for now, what I was originally talking about is we're just changing the ratio of what's already being emitted. And it looks like they've actually tweaked it a little bit already in the back where the 1 units, the small ones, 1 Keck equals 1 Keck, those guys were 75% of the total emission. Now that's bumped up to 90%. The Mega 25 blocks were 5% of the total emission. Now that's dropped dramatically to 1%. And that's why you're able to have more of the 1 units and the 5 units. So now the 1 units and the 5 units make up 99% of the ratio for every spawning. So that's the first part of this we can tweak and play with, and I think that's immediately going to give us more pickups. As far as changing what each of those pickups represents in a true valuation of units, there's a couple good ideas we could also look at. But right now,
I'm sorry.
No, yeah, they mean the same thing. There's more of the 1s and 5s now.
I just got confirmation that one of my withdraws from about 15, 20 minutes went through. So everybody check your crafting table, and your balance should be updated if you've been withdrawing.
Yeah, there's a huge backlog. It was over 1,000 about 5-10 minutes ago. So that makes sense. 20-30 minutes now for them to process through. It shouldn't have been that backlog, but there was actually some sort of dummy transaction, like not an error, but it was holding up the line. We had to do like a super high gas nonce transaction to get that out of the way and get things moving again. So that cost us a few minutes. But they're processing. No fear on that front. You will get your withdrawal.
Oh, got some FOMO. This is hilarious.
I got booted, so I'm hoping that my Gotchi still has all that Alchemica in his pocket, because it was a decent amount.
Oh no.
I know, my worst fear. I was like, I kept going by the portal. I was like, I want to save the world, so I'm not going to do an additional transaction. But then I got the boot when you were talking about deploying the change. It's like my Alchemica.
Rough go.
My Alchemica.
Yeah, I want to go the gravy route and earn my golden altar. Although I might buy one.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, it depends. We'll see. We'll see.
The price of these altars is going up fast.
I'm gonna give it a good college try. I'm not gonna lie, but like if it's a week or so down the road, and we do have to establish some work protocol, right? Golden Cross, but other than that, we'll see. I really do want that Swaquity.
Well, I went on a date last night, and I told the girl, I was like, look, I might not be available for a little while, so just know I'm around. I'm not ignoring you. I just have I'm on a mission. Sorry.
That's awesome. You might as well be straight up honest right up front on the date.
Yeah, it was great. We went to go see the Batman movie. I liked it. It was really like grungy, and I kind of can vibe with that.
Right.
So it was cool. So she was totally understanding. She's like a comic girl, so that's kind of cool.
Date went good then.
Isn't every Batman movie promoted as being the next grungy version of it?
I know, but this was like really grungy. Like it was just it was like a weird, like it had this like film noir kind of feel to it, but it was still modern. Like they had cell phones in it and stuff like that. But it had this very old school grungy, like the police uniforms were older. It was an interesting take on Batman.
Do you like a lot of the superhero movies? And I don't mean to offend anybody by calling them. I don't know. I know some people are like, DC, Marvel, all that. To me, it's like the 700th Batman movie.
Yeah, 100%. It's all those movies are just reduxes of the same storylines. Some of this storyline followed more the Detective Comics version of Batman. So, like, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to go into it. So, it was an interesting and different take. It's like if you watch Solo, there were a lot of people who were pissed off at that because it didn't like fit into the nostalgic kind of Disney old school like Star Wars vibe. It was more like you got to see Han Solo as a more vulnerable, like character development kind of character, like going through his development. So, I enjoyed that because it's just a different, refreshing take on the same subject. It's like watching some kind of derivative version of Romeo and Juliet or any other play that's existed for 1,000 years. And be like, all right, I get it. It's still derivative, but it's like, they might have done something that was interesting.
Yeah, it's always fun to see like prequels and stuff like that because they have like a wide open like blank canvas to write what that story is going to be for the most part. And
I will say Dr. Wagney kind of announced it during the Gotchi space on Sunday, but that the DTF will be funding Friendless Summers, the 9 Adepts. Like I think a trailer for it. So we're talking about like today. This has been successful. I've been running around doing this all day. It's been cool. Now we're gonna start getting fan art, stuff like that. Like the Gotchiverse is, we're still in the Genesis block. That's the way I like to think of it. But it's like
for sure.
Start heating up.
Yeah, I mean, like what it takes to get to where we are today is incredible.